Hi everyone, welcome to this channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Marguerite Fora. I am an aspiring author, but maybe not aspiring for too much longer. More on that later. I'm a mom. I have the two most incredible little humans in this world. I think I must have done something right somewhere because my boys are just, the highlight of my life. We're actually in this adorable phase at the moment. I'm only going to share it because I know one day my boys are going to be so over me and think I'm like the most uncool person ever. But my one son is very creative in the way that he almost tries to outlove me. So we like have these I love you type of competitions. So like I'll often say to him like, I love you the most in the world, or I love you more than anything. Like I'll just say what most parents say, but he's been so creative. So I'll share three that have really stuck out to me. He said the other day, I love you higher than I can kick a ball. I love you wider than the universe. And then my favorite was, I love you more than as naughty as I can be. And I was just like, this kid's incredible. So I'm a mom. And the third thing that I'll share is that I love cooking. I absolutely love cooking. In our house, we eat a lot of Italian inspired food just because I love pizza and pastas and making it from scratch. It's just such a creative outlet for me. And I've recently come across this podcast called Dish, I believe. And I love this podcast so much, but I also especially love the recipes with the podcast. And I just see myself going down this journey where I'm going to try making a lot of the food that they cook on that show. So yeah, I love food, I love cooking, and I also love writing. And that's what we're going to be talking about today because I'm not doing NaNoWriMo. I don't even know if NaNoWriMo exists anymore. Last year was the first year I got into this world of writing a novel in November, which I'd always wanted to do. And last year was the first year I got on board and was about to get involved when I found out nobody was doing it anymore. So I then realized that there were lots of other challenges on the internet, and these challenges, as great as they sounded, none of them just seemed to fit with me and what I needed in order to complete the goal of writing a book in a month. And it's not that they weren't good, it just wasn't a good fit because of, I think, how I best function. So even NaNoWriMo, I mean, the goal was to write like a certain amount of words a day, which in theory, there's nothing wrong with. But as the ladies who share a swimming lane with me would tell you, I have a lot of strengths. One of my areas that could definitely be improved would be arithmetic. There's something about when I have to think about numbers that I don't know what it is, but I just start to panic and I shut down. Like the girls always laugh and say that if we're swimming on the minute, I'm leading the lane. But if it's on 105 or 115 or 55, I just panic and they know they need to go in front and I'll just go 5 seconds after whoever wins in front of me. So I'm not somebody who likes to think a lot about numbers. Although I love budgeting and personal finance and all of that, but just quick arithmetic is not something that gets me going, and neither does writing for word count. So I don't do that. I didn't do that last year, and I'm not bringing that in with me this year. So I'm taking a time-based approach, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing because maybe you're in a space where you're trying to customize your own approach to NaNoWriMo and what you're going to try for November. And maybe what I'm saying is just not going to work for you at all, but maybe there's going to be like little bits and pieces that you're like, maybe there's something there. Maybe I can tweak that a little bit. So if you're in the space where you're trying to create your own version of NaNoWriMo, then I hope something of what I say is going to connect with you. And I'm going to get into the specifics of that now, but I just want to mention that at the start of this video, I said I am an aspiring author. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share where I'm at with my debut novel currently. And I'm really, really excited to get there, but that's not what this video is about. So we'll get there when we get there. If you want to know, you can just skip to that part of the video. However, I'm going to invite you to hear what I'm doing with regards to writing a novel in November. And I'm going to start with my calendar. So I have like right now, just printed the calendar for November. And how I'm going to be approaching the month of November is I'm going to be writing 6 days a week. So what I've learned, not only when it comes to writing, but also just this phase in life, is it's very difficult for me to ask for what I need and what I want. I don't know if it's a woman thing where you're a lot more inclined to just sort of go with the flow, or you kind of feel like you just have to put yourself last. This year, I'm really trying to actively create the life I want, more so than usual. And that means asking for a lot more of what I need to make what I want materialize. And lucky for me, I've got an amazing husband who's on board with that. So that's great, because what I need is evenings. So my husband has kindly offered to put our kids to bed 3 times a week. So that means 3 times a week from 6:30, I'm going to have a window to write. So that's most likely going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then, luckily for us, our kids go to bed at 5 o'clock at the weekends. And if you're a parent out there, I know this is seasonal, so we're just in a season where this is what's happening, which is amazing. But I'm banking on maybe starting 6:30 on a Saturday or Sunday evening to fill that time with writing as well. So that then takes me to 5 days. And then I am planning to once in the week wake up at 5:30 in the morning and to write for an hour then. So I am giving myself the goal of writing 6 times a week with 1 day off where I'm not going to be doing any writing whatsoever. But if I know myself, nothing ever goes according to plan. So this is just a rough structure of what I have in mind. And I'm open to things changing. I might find on the day off that I have a little bit of time during the day, and then I might want to write then. Or I might find that maybe one of the days that I plan to write in the evening, my husband has to work late, and then I just step in a little bit. So the goal is 6 times a week, which then means I'll be finishing my novel in 24 days, which is doable because last year I finished it in 18 days. So I know that this is something that if I really focus in on, I can do. And yeah, just being aware of the time that I need to create in order to make this a reality, that's quite cool. Now, I have made a video where I described what I've done in Preptober and how I've planned my acts so that I've got a bird's eye view of what it is that I'm hoping to write. So I'm not going in completely green. Like I have somewhat of a roadmap, and currently I have some ideas of how I want to fill those chapters. So I feel like I know enough that when I sit down, I'm not going to be like, what am I doing here? I have prompts, or at least some sort of springboards to get me going. And I've built up a lot of anticipation in the last few days/weeks that I'm just eager to get writing now. But something else that I'm doing this year, which I didn't do last year, is I'll be working with a writing coach. So this coming Monday, I'm going to have a 45-minute intro session with her. So this is before the month of November, and we'll just discuss my project from a bird's eye view. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to get out of that session, but hopefully it'll be enough to make me even more confident going into my 6 times a week goal of writing. And yes, I'll be checking in with her once a week throughout the month of November. So yeah, I think what I'm most looking forward to there is just talking about my story, because I'm sure if you've ever tried to write something, you can relate to the feeling of getting in your head, of maybe overthinking something, or thinking like you're going in the wrong direction, or maybe sometimes you just want to geek out about your story. And I have this amazing best friend who I had dinner with last week Thursday. We realized that it had been 4 years since the two of us actually just went out to dinner. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we had the most amazing time, and she's so sweet and kind, and she always wants to know about what I'm working on in my books. And I feel in the beginning days, I used to tell her everything, and now I feel like I feel bad for her being so genuinely nice about trying to remember what it is that I'm working on, because the project's changed so much. So I don't know if you relate, but like sometimes you go into a story thinking it's going to be one thing and then it just changes. And I kind of want to be mindful of what I'm filling my friend's mind with. So I'd rather just have more of a solid idea of what the story is before I share it. And that's quite nice about having a writing coach that I'll be checking in with quite frequently, because there's no pressure to have the story start being something and finish being the same thing. So I'm really looking forward to bringing somebody in. And there's also that accountability aspect. So last year I made writing vlogs that I posted on the channel. I'm not going to be doing that this year because I don't have the time for it. I still have my job, and then parenting on top of that. So yeah, I think I'll try maybe make a check-in video during the month of November. I'm not sure, but if you're in a space where you're looking for some version of accountability, I really found that by creating content online last year, if you have the capacity and time to do so, it it encouraged me. It was really cool. I built up a nice group of people who were following me throughout the whole month, and I like was showing up for myself, but also knowing that there were people who were doing this journey with me. It was really fulfilling. And yeah, if you're toying with the idea of maybe putting yourself out there for, well, for fun, but also for accountability, I encourage you to go for it, because it really helped me last year. But this year I'll be taking a different approach. And yeah, something that I'm also doing, which isn't like really connected to all of this, is I will be having a interview with Meredith. I'll put her YouTube channel on the screen now, but she's somebody that I've just admired for a while now. And I think this girl is just pretty special, the way that she's built a community online, the way that she navigates this world of trying to become a full-time author. If that's her goal, I'll be chatting with her to figure all of this stuff out. But yeah, I'm so excited to just chat to people who have similar goals to me and who are like actively pouring their heart into the pursuit of working towards their goals. So I'm inspired by that, and I can't wait to chat to her. So that's cool, because I'm also bringing influencers in my life who inspire me. And yeah, I just feel like I'm creating a world that is going to, just push me gently and lovingly in the direction that I want to go. So to sum up, I will be writing 6 days a week. I'm going to be meeting with a writing coach once a week, and the end goal is to just have a complete first draft. So if you're sitting there thinking that my first draft is going to be any good, I am very happy to tell you that it's probably going to be awful. And I've gotten to a place where I would rather just write a first draft, no matter how terrible it is, and just get it done. And then for me, the joy comes in editing it, because then I often pick up on themes that I might have like introduced subconsciously, and then I build this theme throughout the entire book. Or what I've often done is sometimes I had too many characters, and then I cut characters so that it's just tight and a lot more concise. So yeah, I have no desired outcome in terms of this first draft needing to be any good, and also if this is a project I'm going to share, which I spoke about in my last video. But I'm really, really, really excited about writing a novel in November. And yeah, that's this part of the video done. Now I'm just going to quickly give an update on my debut novel. Okay. So I received my 2 final pieces of beta reader feedback, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be final, if I was going to keep asking for more and more feedback. But what I've realized is it's now gotten to the point where people aren't pointing out holes in my story. People are more sharing what they relate to and what resonates with them. And wow, that has just been so incredible. I sent the first 10 pages to an agent that I've interviewed on this channel before, just to get her thoughts on the story. And I can't believe she actually read it and replied. What? That was so amazing. But it gave me enough confidence that I'm now going to reach out to the agent that I really, really, really want to work with. So the agent that I shared my work with, she doesn't represent my genre. So I knew we can't work together, but I got on really well with her, that I felt like an agent is an agent. They have like, I mean, I assume, I know it's subjective, but yeah, I just felt like getting an agent's stamp of approval was sort of what I needed to now reach out to the agent that I really, really want to work with. And I'm going to do that hopefully by the end of this week. I'm almost finished with the final edits of my debut novel. And yeah, I really thought I'd only be reaching out to agents at the end of this year. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Nothing might happen, but can't believe I'm at this point. Like, if you spoke to me at the beginning of this year, I mean, I had that heartbreak with my memoir that I wrote last year, and like having to start from scratch and getting to the point where I'm at now, where like this thing is pretty much finished. It's just so cool. And I'm just so happy with the journey, and yeah, just like not giving up and not quitting when it looked like things weren't working out. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But good luck to you if you are wanting to write a novel in November. I wish you absolutely everything of the best, and stay tuned for an interview also with my writing coach, because I'm also interviewing her. So that's going to be pretty cool as well. And maybe she'll be able to give you some helpful insights from a professional point of view / accountability point of view that might be of use to you with regards to your journey of writing your novel. All right, so I'll see you then. Bye.